Okay, so we're back for another deep dive.
Yeah.
And you guys really seem to want to get into the mind of Tom Hardy. I mean,
Yeah.
the requests for him have been piling up, so I'm excited to dig in. And you sent us a full-on biography to really get to know him beyond just the, surface level stuff. Like, you want to know what makes this guy tick, both on screen and off.
Yeah.
We're going to unpack his journey from those early roles to becoming like a total chameleon on screen. Plus, we'll even touch on his personal life and some of the, charitable work that he's involved with. 'Cause who doesn't love a talented guy with a good heart?
Yeah, a good heart.
So first off, Edward Thomas Hardy.
Yeah.
Born in Hammersmith, London. September 15th, 1977.
Okay.
I mean, even his name sounds kind of theatrical.
It really does.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
And from early on, it was clear he was drawn to the arts, which led him to train at the Drama Centre London. Now, this isn't just any drama school, folks. I mean, we're talking alumni like Michael Fassbender, Colin Firth, Pierce Brosnan. Look, acting royalty, basically.
Yeah.
And you can see that training shining through in his work, even in some of those early roles. So speaking of which, in 2001, he pops up in Black Hawk Down, directed by Ridley Scott.
Wow.
I mean, talk about a film debut.
That's a pretty big one to start with.
Right, huge. And then that same year, he's in HBO's Band of Brothers.
Okay.
So we've got war, epics, gritty realism. I mean, was he already kind of laying the groundwork for this intensity that he becomes known for?
Well, definitely. I think he was deliberately kind of choosing those roles that were pushing him physically and emotionally from the get-go.
Yeah.
And then you get Bronson in 2008, and it's like a total turning point.
Right.
This is where you really see him kind of fully embrace that method acting and completely transform to play the infamous prisoner Charles Bronson. I mean, critics were blown away.
Yeah, it's captivating. Yeah. And it really put him on the map. And then he lands a role in Christopher Nolan's Inception as Eames.
Oh, yeah.
Master forger. I mean, dreams within dreams, complex action sequences. It's a wild ride.
Yeah, Inception was huge.
Huge.
It was huge commercially, critically. And it really showed that he could hold his own in those big budget, mind-bending blockbusters.
Totally. And let's not forget what came next. Bane.
Oh my gosh.
And The Dark Knight.
Yes.
Lises.
Yes.
The voice, the physique.
Yes.
That menacing presence.
The presence.
I mean, he completely owned that role.
Really something else.
Yeah. And then a few years later, he steps into Mel Gibson's shoes for Mad Max. Fury Road.
Right.
And the visual style of that film was insane.
Right.
And Hardy brings his own brand of intensity to Max.
Yeah.
You see those echoes of his earlier work.
Yeah.
But it's also something totally new.
Totally.
And that same year, he takes on a really different type of role in The Revenant and earns an Oscar nomination for his performance as John Fitzgerald.
Right.
This brutal, complex frontiersman. I mean, it's such a testament to his range.
It really is.
That he can go from playing almost a silent road warrior to this incredibly nuanced, emotionally demanding character.
Yeah.
And I love that he doesn't just stick to these blockbusters.
Yeah.
From 2017 to 2022, he co-creates and stars in Taboo.
Okay.
This dark historical thriller set in 1814 London. He plays James Delaney, this brooding, mysterious figure who returns to London after years in Africa to inherit his father's shipping empire. Wow. The show is gritty, violent, and really delves into colonialism, slave trade, some really heavy stuff.
Yeah, Taboo was really interesting. It was a passion project for him. He actually co-created it with his father, Chips Hardy.
Wow.
And I think it really gave him a chance to explore themes and characters that you don't always see in mainstream entertainment.
Right.
It was a risk, but I think it paid off creatively.
Yeah. And then there's Venom.
Oh, yeah.
Which kicked off a whole franchise in 2018. I mean, the critics were a bit mixed on this one, but audiences loved it.
Yeah, they did.
And I think there's something about that anti-hero, that slightly unhinged character that people just resonate with.
It's just fun.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Plus, it's just fun to watch him play a guy who's battling an alien symbiote inside of his own head.
Literally, yeah. You can tell he's having a lot of fun with that role.
Yeah.
And you know what's really interesting about him is his willingness to be open about his past.
Yeah.
Struggles with addiction. He's become a really vocal advocate for recovery and mental health.
Yeah.
Which is so important.
Yeah, especially coming from someone with his platform.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it makes you wonder, does that lived experience actually inform the way that he approaches his characters?
Right.
Does it add like an extra layer of depth and understanding?
I think it's hard not to think that it does. You know, there's a real vulnerability there, a sense of empathy that you see in so many of his performances. And then on top of all of that, he's involved with the prince's trust, supporting at-risk youth in the UK. I mean, he's using his success to give back in such a meaningful way.
Yeah. It's clear that he's not just an incredible actor, but also a genuinely
good guy. Yeah.
So let's do a quick recap. BAFTA for Rising Star in 2011. CBE in 2018 for services to drama.
Yeah.
Those are some serious accolades.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy, versatile, intense, always pushing those boundaries and bringing just this unique depth to every character he embodies.
What's so fascinating to me about Tom Hardy is that there's this constant tension between his blockbuster appeal and his desire to take risks, to explore these complex, sometimes dark characters. He could easily coast on that action hero persona, but he's always choosing projects that challenge him and surprise his audience. It really makes you wonder, what's next? What kind of roles are we going to see him take on in the future?
That's the big question. Well, I think we've definitely gone deeper than the headlines here. Hopefully this deep dive has given you a much more well-rounded view of this truly talented actor. Excuse me, I'm off to revisit Taboo and maybe do a little Mad Max marathon.
Sounds good.